Better Daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What's up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Friday! Today is Flex Friday, and today we're going to be going through an abdominal exercise to help you on your 1% better journey. Has anybody ever seen one of these before? This bad boy is called an ab roller, and an ab roller is a very, very humbling piece of exercise equipment. And today I'm going to show you a few different exercises, one without the ab roller, to show you what it is that you can be doing. What's up, Scott? Good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining me, man. So, abdominal exercises are really interesting, right? Because we call them core exercises very frequently. And core is really anything from your rib cage to your pelvis, right? That's the front of your sides of your abdominal complex, and then your back. A lot of people don't think about it this way, but between your hips and your ribs, the only bone is your spine. Like the only bone complex is your spine. And your spine is made to be really flexible so that you can move in really cool ways, right? The only problem with that is if your core is weak, then your flexible spine will take the brunt of things like impactful, life happens. So if you trip and fall and you hit the ground pretty hard, then that'll hurt your back if your core isn't as strong as it could be. And so core exercises are extremely important. Anytime you exercise, you ask your core to do work. When you hold a position, let's say you're doing shoulder press. I'm just doing a seated shoulder press here. If I'm in a seated shoulder press position, my core has to be nice and strong so that there's no load on my spine while I'm working my shoulders. And the same thing goes for push-ups, and the same thing goes for pull-ups. In fact, Scott, who's joined us live here, was telling me he was so surprised when he started doing pull-ups, how sore his abs were from pull-ups. Because you don't think of pull-ups as an abdominal exercise, right? But your core has to work extremely hard in order to keep your hips and your rib cage from doing a lot of bending and whatnot while you're trying to do your pull-up. And so today's exercise, the ab roller, and then a few regressions of the ab roller, are actually really powerful exercises to develop the core musculature. So this exercise is a really awesome way of motion on your abdominal complex. It definitely challenges the upper body, but it also challenges your mental connection with your abdominal muscles, and I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to show you the ab roller exercise, and then I'm going to talk about how we work into that, how we make the most of it, and then some common things that people do wrong. So let's get started. Ab roller exercise, this is like a $6 to $10 piece of exercise equipment. And you don't need one necessarily. You can use a scooter. When I was a young adolescent and we were poor, I used my little brother. He had like this little push cart thing. I used his push cart. Anything with wheels will do. But so you've got this right here. You get a nice strong grip on it. Keep your shoulders out of your ears. Everything's strong and stable. You move your hips forward as far as you can, and then extend your arms all the way, and then pull with your abs. Boom. Just like that. It's a really hard exercise to talk through. Just like this, nice and strong, and pull on back. Don't worry, when you first start these, you're not going to be able to go out that far yet. You won't be able to get nose to ground. You might only be able to get this far. That is okay. So, the abdominal muscles that make this exercise work are your rectus abdominis and your transverse abdominis. You'll notice in this exercise, when I'm going out, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to curl my body up to the ceiling to pull the ab wheel back toward me, right? So I'm coming out, I'm pulling my back and my hips up to the ceiling and really creating that tension through the abdominal muscles, right? One of the things that people do wrong in this exercise very often is they'll focus on the arms and see how my hips are sitting back like this. This is not an ab exercise. It's a really good arm stretch. We keep those arms under us and we move our hips we can feel that as those hips extend, there's more and more and more pressure on the abdominal complex. And then once your hips fully extend, then you can move those arms out and get an even deeper stretch through the transverse abdominis. Now, I promised you a regression this exercise that'll work into this. So if you don't have an ab wheel, or perhaps this is a little rough on your back and you need to regress the exercise, then what you can do is modify a plank to do the same thing. I have two variations of this that I really like. One's really advanced and one's really not that advanced, right? So the least advanced version of this is a plank. You can do it on your knees if you need to regress this far. So knees right here, I'm going to put my arms on the ground, forearms on the ground just like this. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop my butt, boom. I've got a nice strong plank here in a kneeling position. Now, if I go from here and I walk my arms forward and back, I can get a very, very similar feeling in my abdominal complex. So like this, I march, boom, boom. And maybe I can only do that far, and then I can pull it back in just like this. And so it's like a mini ab roller, just like this, rolling all the way through those forearms, extending nice and strong, keeping my abdominal muscles engaged, pulling it back. Now, if I straighten my legs, I come off my knees and I straighten my legs, that makes that exercise a lot more intense. And then the last version without the ab roller is called an ab walkout or a plank walkout. Depends on who you ask. So you come into a push-up position like this, right? And you walk your hands out as far as you can get them, really hard, as far as you can get them. Oh my gosh, you hold that. You should be shaking if you're doing it right. Keep this out of your lower back. You want to keep your abdominal muscles nice and engaged, and then you walk your hands back to you, right? You can even turn it into a hamstring stretch by coming all the way back to your hamstrings and then walking it back out as far as you can get it. Man, that's brutal. And then come on back. Those are plank walkouts. And so these are all variations of the ab roller exercise. Good morning, Pat. Good to see you, man. And so the ab roller is a nice way to take both of those variations and integrate them together. And you can get quite a few more reps with this likely because it's not so hard on the forearms and the elbows and the shoulders and stuff. And it really puts the focus on the abdominal complex. So again, working on here, coming all the way out nice and strong, pulling on back in. And that's the ab roller exercise. Pulling our body up to the ceiling. We're not keeping this as a focused arm stretch, keeping it in the core. Party central. Now, I mentioned there are a few things you can use instead of an ab roller. One of my favorite variations, looks really cool actually, especially in a gym setting, is if you take a barbell and put your plates on a barbell, like the Olympic barbell right there. You can actually hold onto the bar, roll yourself all the way out, and roll yourself all the way back. That's a fun variation. And then if you get real hero status, you can take a resistance band and attach it to your ab wheel or your barbell, and you can pull against that to add a little bit of extra resistance during the concentric phase of the movement. I'll demonstrate that sometime soon if you guys care to see it. So that is the ab roller exercise. Our core is extremely important. Your spine will not have any support unless your core is nice and strong. We want to make sure to continue strengthening that. You can start on your knees here with that forearm plank walkout. You can do the plank walkout on your hands, or if you have one of these bad boys, you can get to mastering that. Remember, we start with our hips, and then we extend through the arms, pull with the abs to get it all back. If you're feeling it really hardcore in your back, you're doing it wrong. You don't need to go that far yet. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Thank you for joining me for Flex Friday. I'll see you on Mindset Monday, and until then, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.